Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to Dissect. This evening, and my co-host is back. He's in Dominica still, but at least he's back, and we are going to be doing the show together. But where's my co-host? Co-host, where are you? um, This evening, we have an amazing show as usual. And I want to encourage you to follow us on TDN TV, YouTube, Island Therapy, Facebook, Island Therapy, and our Instagram page, dissect.tv. This evening, we have a great pair of ladies that we're going to be introducing to you quickly. And their names are Janelle and Janine, and they are sisters. They go by the name of Xavier Strings. Let's bring to the stage our guests, novelist.
Hi.
Right, I was wondering what happened. What's going on? Technical difficulties.
Welcome, novelist. Welcome.
Thank you. I feel like I guessed myself tonight.
Okay.
I was like, wait, should I introduce novelists or the ladies first?
So, welcome, ladies, to Dissect.
Lovely to be here.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being on. So you know what? We're just going to jump right into it. And Xavier Strings, hailing from the islands of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
I want you ladies to first introduce yourselves because, you know, we want to address you correctly. And I'm glad that you wore two different colors. So we can say lady in the yellow, lady in the black. by your name. So
Right.
Ladies in red, no ladies in red. It makes things a lot easier, I'm sure. So I'm Janine Xavier Cross. I'm Janelle Xavier. And we're Xavier Strings. We're sister string violinists. We enjoy Caribbean music. We enjoy having a voice, showcasing the voice of the Caribbean through string instruments, particularly violin, viola kind of thing. And we do it all the time. And voice as well. Yes. You know. Yeah. A bit of singing in there. So Xavier Strings is a two-piece band often, but we really perform in various kind of entities. We have a 5-piece band, so we get quite large with our full band, and we have like bass guitar, keys, drums. So it's a nice mix of electronic instruments with the violin. So it's quite funky, fresh, refreshing. You know, and then we kind of come down as well, depending on the events, to a 3-piece, which is sometimes with like a keyboard and the violins and voice as well. And then sometimes it's a 2-piece when we have to perform with backing tracks, you know. But really, the best, our most exciting version of ourselves is Xavier Strings with our full band.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, how did this all started? Like, how did music start for you guys? Was it always violin, or did you guys play some different instrument? Like, what was the introduction to music? Any one of you guys?
Well, we were always in music. Our mom is a music educator. She's over in the corner over there.
Okay.
Xavier, she's waving. I'm not sure why.
We'll pull her in at the end. We'll pull her
Yes.
You know, right? Okay. So so she's a music educator. Very important for CXC. She was a double bass player, a pianist, that kind of thing. And so our first instruments were, our first exposure was to the double bass actually, and orchestras and stuff. When she was playing in youth orchestras and stuff in Europe as babies. She told us we were placed in front of the violin section and made to, she couldn't deal with us in the back with the double bass.
Yeah.
All right, you all deal with her. You put them in the front. So she tells us she put us in the front there, right?
Nice.
After that, we once we started, she taught us piano, and then decided after a while that we wanted to play what we thought were little double basses. So we played violin. Went up to her one day and said, "Let's go play. We want to play the violin, yeah."
And so that obviously went over well for you.
Exactly. So that's what we've continued to play. Both of us play a few different instruments as well. Janine played clarinet and stuff with Scout Band, and I play guitar on different pans and piano as well. And just to widen it out, so we kind of multi-instrumentalists to some extent.
Yeah,
but our focus really is the violin and viola.
Yeah, well, you guys sound like rounded musicians.
Yes.
Well, we do what we can. We do what we can.
And you're vocalists as well, so
yeah.
Because you mentioned singing, so you are the vocalist in your band. So do you often sing for events, or is it depending on what the client is asking for?
Well, it sort of depends. It's whatever we feel like on it at the day. Sometimes you want to break up the set a little bit. Sometimes you want to do something a little bit different. Sometimes you want to shock them. Sometimes there's a group of people who may have heard you before and you didn't play for them, so you didn't sing for them, so you give them a different experience. Right. Because we one of the biggest things about us is we enjoy being versatile. So it's about the different instruments that we play. It's about the different types, the different genres that we play.
Right.
So we enjoy surprising people. I enjoy making it fun for them.
Nice. So you're a vocalist and rounded musician. Are you a writer as well too?
Huh?
A writer? Are you a writer as well? Like, do you write your own music as well too?
Yeah, we write some of our own. At the moment, we've only really focused on writing one piece in the past, but we all the arrangements and stuff, we've done a huge number of arrangements, plus a lot of our own ideas on other people's music. And this year we just sort of decided, all right, let's focus. Let's go, let's try to do let's just work on our own stuff, and enjoy it. You want to say something?
Well, I mean, wait. Who's the big sister here? I want to know who's the big sister. Right? Is it obvious?
Okay.
You want to say something?
But yes, it's interesting in terms of, like, we were classically trained as violinists. So we read music very well, but we also have a lot of ear training from a lot of our experiences. So it means that we perform, you could pick up any song and we'll immediately be able to play it, so that's not necessarily, I guess it's not something that necessarily comes with many musicians, but somehow we've been able to kind of hone that craft. And we have a very, very, very strong ear, extremely strong ear. So yeah.
Yes.
I think I know why you have the strong ears, the forcing of the front. They push you in front.
Violence.
Yeah.
I think really with us, we've had so many experiences and exposure. We had a lot of exposure in terms of the different styles of music, different events, festivals, activities that we grew up with. So yes, you grew up in Trinidad, so carnival, that kind of thing. Yes, we performed in orchestras, so we were always in that classical experience. Used to be part in Trinidad. We have this thing, parang music, which happens during Christmas time. So we would perform in the parang bands, which is going from house to house to house, playing parang with shaks and maracas, and the violins come in. What else we had? So we did
tambourine music and stuff in Tobago.
In Tobago, so that's a lot of more kind of local, very local music.
Folk feel and really, I mean, even in the church, as most musicians, got a little experience and stuff in the church and playing along in services and choir bringing you up, the choir director, do the thing with us, in schools, play with the choir, sing with the choir, kind of thing. So it's been we've had a really well-rounded experience, and honestly, we used to think, this is just the experience we had, but actually it was all directed.
Apparently it was structured.
It was all structured.
Part of the plan.
The music educator knew what she was educating.
Right.
The mom knew exactly what she was doing. And so I made sure, you think about it, because we're only two girls. So it was very important for us to have very structured lives and, No, not get up to any mischief and things. So it meant that we were often very heavily involved in activities that mainly music, a lot of music, constantly, like literally summer holidays were music workshops, and and yes, we went into the little computer courses and different things like that, but a lot of it was exposure to different types and experiences with music.
If she was putting on a music production for somebody, we would be in it. If she was playwriting something, when the children were writing out the anthem for exams, at whatever age we were at, we had to edit and proofread that the children wrote the anthem properly for exam. So we were in. We've been trained from.
So now she's probably sitting there, proud mom, and see her daughters. You guys are obviously happy with what you guys are doing. So I guess, job well done, right?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. The crazy part is that we are not letting her go either, So the whole thing is she was a music educator and she did all of these different things. When she retired, she became full-time momager for us. So she's our momager full-time. When you call, that is you speak to June, and it's really nice to kind of really continue to have such a strong relationship, I think, with our mom. It's a respect, I think, that has grown as musicians, as a family as well. She does quite a lot, and that I think not many musicians have the opportunity to have that kind of individual in the role of manager. A whole different kind of attention, but also she's also like a very strong consultant musically. We will be doing arrangements of music or just about to perform, and she'd be like, what is that? We need to put in some more trills here. And because she's a double bass player, she can speak the language. And we pull us up when she finds, well, you're kind of being lazy about this music. Put in some more movement, some more flow. Even the energy, like, why are you standing still on stage? Move.
Right?
Because she did drama. So there's influences that came into our lives from, it's bigging her up, not because she's in the room, but bigging her up because it's such a significant part of who we are, and we often take it for granted, I think. And I think other musicians, other artists, they always talk to us and say, how come y'all get like that? And he's like, well, it's there, normal. But apparently it's not. It's been built in.
Yeah. Right. Because we do ask that question to a lot of guests that come on, like, is your family supportive? How are they, respecting? Are they respective of your music, right? And sometimes, like, at first they say, West Indian parents, they want us to be lawyers and doctors, and the profession is, not music. And this is the total opposite of what we're used to.
Not really.
It's not quite that.
We have a Caribbean mother. Don't get tired.
Yes.
So we, the reality of the Caribbean is that we've always been brought up in terms of tertiary education is critical. So we knew at the age of 18, you had to leave home, go away, study, get into university. So we did everything. Went up to our masters not in music necessarily, but in other areas. My career path was urban planning and sciences. Janelle's career path
is environmental sciences and stuff, geology and environmental sciences. So we worked Janine still works in her field, and I have gone full-time musician. So I'm now a portfolio musician. So I have my own school. We have Xavier Strings, and we do all the work for that. And we play for the National Youth Orchestra, National Philharmonic Orchestra of Trinidad and Tobago. Apologies.
The
Youth Orchestra was way back.
Yeah, when you were kids.
Yes, when we were children.
But but in other words, it has always been important to have both sides of the coin for us.
Absolutely.
And the reality is in the Caribbean, and some people have been able to do music full time and jump into it and survive comfortably. And we probably maybe were more cautious and have always had two options. Maybe that in itself could have held us back from doing a lot more musically because of that in the Caribbean. But we have options.
And honestly, we didn't actually even realize it was such a hobby for us that we were overseas studying, and playing for Black Star in some big stadium, and we're not fussed about it. It's still a hobby. You're playing for thing. It's only when you end up on BBC radio.
You realize
Yes,
maybe we seem to have something that they want.
right.
Those kind of things. So that's what happened with us. We called ourselves, when we were over there, we called ourselves Xavier. And then we came back home and decided to start up Xavier Strings. It wasn't our choice though. The name was, we did our first wedding expo and we did a performance. We told the lady our name. Can't even remember her name.
Our name was Xavier at that
Xavier,
time.
which is our last name.
Right.
I think that sounds really, really, yeah. And she goes, well, Xavier, okay. And she goes up there and she goes, Xavier Strings. I'll be like, okay, okay, that's who we are. That's who we are.
It's stuck. It's stuck.
It was good. It was good. She named us well. She named us well.
Nice.
Let's show the audience one of you guys' videos, so they get an idea. If you guys never seen them perform before, you guys can get an idea of.
I think we have the Calypso medley first. I like. Let's watch that one first.
All right. So we'll be right back. Let's get into that video.
Wow.
Nice. So which one of you guys is to sneak out to the soca fest?
Oh, good girls. We were good girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, mom's in the room.
Yeah. You guys you guys look like you're just having like the time of your life together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing about like the experience for us is once we're having fun, we good.
Nice.
We good. You know,
And audiences feed off of your energy, I'm sure.
that's it. I mean, we feed off of them, they feed off of us, and it just takes everything to another level, I think, you know. You kind of many musicians kind of get that energy, but for us it kind of infiltrates your whole body, you know, the musical experience, the whatever we're playing, if it really connects with and resonates with like your soul, go next level.
And we're slightly different individuals, right? So Janine is an extroverted kind of person, so she really pulls from the audience, and you see her just going there, and I'm like, where are you going? What are you going? Come back. And I'm more introverted, so I get that vibe off of her. I get it off of the musicians, and I'll catch a couple people in the audience like, and like, yes, you, yes.
She says she's introverted, right? But
right? I didn't see any introvert. I don't even hear that right now. We don't see that.
I say no more.
I ain't getting in family business.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask how. Well, I see that you have your band in the background. How were you able to team up with your keyboardist and your bass guitarist and your drummer? Like, how did that transpire?
Oh, well, that connection actually started when we came back to Trinidad, because we went away for a while. When we returned to Trinidad, I started looking for someone. Like, Janelle wasn't here as yet, and I was like, I want to perform with people. And a friend of mine, who's actually one of Mommy's former students, he's like, Janine, come and connect with these guys who they play in a group, a gospel group, in church. So I said, well, okay, let's come, let's do a little vibes together. And we started off with a group of musicians. It was actually three. Well, one of them was someone called David Richards, who was on the drums, and Rodney Harris on the keyboards, and Kevin LaFleur, who's on the bass guitar. From that kind of energy, Janelle came back to Trinidad, and we said, hey, let's do something together. And we melded together. We've arranged music together. We have toured together. We have stuck it out. I mean, the only thing that has kind of separated us sometimes is some of the musicians have been like traveling. So we had one of our keyboardists, he used to perform with Destra, and so they toured quite a lot. So that was only sometimes when we kind of had to have like someone else fall in. And in general with musicians, like our musicians we love our musicians, and the quality of them is they're very good.
Yeah.
So it means that they're in high demand as well. But somehow we've been able as a unit to kind of stick together and do what we do together.
We enjoy playing with each other. So right now, David Richards left quite some time ago now. So we've been with Jonathan Hensley for drums, but Kevin LaFleur on bass and Rodney Harris on keyboards stayed with us and had been with us for this entire time. Rodney's just disappeared. Yeah. So we've working with Emil Fortune, and we have a few people who we really, really enjoy their vibe, working with them, and we enjoy it.
Yeah. So you kind of have to have you have your core and you have backup musicians, but generally speaking, we work very well with the whole group that we kind of get a chance to work with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'm excited. I want to ask the question about, Marshall Montano. I know that you performed for his wedding. I saw the wedding live, which many people did, and I heard the violinists and I saw the violinists, but I didn't know that was you.
Are you freezing? I think she's.
Am I freezing? Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I asked?
We lost that just for a second.
So am I still frozen?
No.
Okay. So I was asking about, I said I watched Marshall Montano's wedding live, and as many people did, and I heard the violinists, I saw them, but I had no idea that it was you. Did you hear me? I'm frozen again.
I think there's no Marshall's energy is here. Like, you want support to hear that question.
Maybe my co-host. Did you hear me when I asked the question?
Yeah, no, I think they're freezing. So.
Oh, they're freezing up.
Yeah.
But we're on the same wavelength.
Okay. So you go again.
Quick fire.
You guys performed there.
Marshall's wedding. Marshall's wedding. How was that for you, performing at Marshall's wedding? Marshall.
It was fantastic. That was the first time. The audience was like 40,000 people. It was a huge, totally sold out event. We were all in white. There were Moko Jumbies behind us, and we performed. We played the song "At Last," I think it was.
Yes.
At Last.
For
Ella.
No.
Ella.
No, none of those. None of those people.
Somebody else.
Last, none of those people.
So the point is, we played, and they had their first dance kind of thing on stage, for the crowd. And it was really, really wonderful. We played with there was a singer up in the rafters, and we were on the stage with them, surrounding them. Yeah, it was really pretty, really, really lovely.
Nice. And how did that happen? Like, did they reach out to you? Did they have like something that was advertised? Did you feel like to play at their wedding? Like, how did they reach out to you? Like, how did it happen?
Just got that call. Hey, come down. We're doing this thing. We really want to have you.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, there was a time when we were doing some recordings in studio. And one of the pieces that we were recording in studio was something called Juve's Slave. It's an arrangement of two pieces that we put together called Juve's Slave. And we did that in a studio where actually I think Marshall kind of frequents that studio.
Kenny Phillips
studio. And there was a point where I remember Kenny called us and he said, "Oh my gosh, you guys, Marshall heard a piece of this song and he would love to have it in a movie that he has coming up."
He heard
he heard a piece of it, and I don't know if it was from that direction or if the connection came from other bits of exposure of us performing soca, because we do put out covers and things like that often enough on social media. So whether it be it was from that interaction or just the consistency of us being out there, and he just loved our energy, he loved our vibe, and he was like, "Yes, I have to have you guys." Yeah, so
I'm guessing that Mom is making a point here to tell you who sings that song.
Etta James. That's exactly what happened there.
Etta James.
Video, we're like, what?
She's doing her job. She's doing exactly what she should be doing.
Google, not YouTube. Google.
Thank you, Mama Jen. Thank you.
So musical wise, Xavier Strings, do you guys have albums, and how many albums, if you have any studio albums recorded?
All right, so in terms of studio, what we have is we have a live album, right? Which was a really lovely show we did in Movie Town. We filmed it, and we had a really, really great, diverse set of music on it. Pop and folk and calypso and soca and reggae, and so we did a few different kinds of music, and we are working right now on the other stuff, on the other things. So we have a original song that we recorded. We have a couple other studio arrangements that we love, that we've done, that we've recorded studio. And everything else, we're now starting to really sit down and go, yes, this is what we're going to do. Right. We've done a lot of really, really good work. We just want to start to put it down. Make it down.
Well, we have one album. We have the album, but it is one of those things where we want to continue recording and laying down that music so that it's there. It's there as a legacy as well. It's there as something that at any point in time you can get a chance to kind of touch in and tap in and connect with Xavier Strings, Yeah.
So we're looking at different genres of music, or we're looking at one?
So the realities of who we are is that we don't necessarily stick to one style of music. I mean, yes, in the Caribbean, people say, soca, reggae, jazz,
high influence,
yeah, calypso. We play a lot of all of those genres, but we play everything. We play Bollywood music, so we have oftentimes people would make requests for us, whether it be at weddings, corporate events, or any special events. They would ask for any style of music. It could be, they say, they want like a particular Bollywood song, and we often kind of learn different styles of music just from these requests that come up, and we enjoy making sure that we mix it up,
Okay.
Because, we're global. Trinidad, the Caribbean, we're in the middle of everything. We hear everything. So it's what our voice is tends to be what everything is. So that's why we play Latin, and we play jazz, and we play reggae, and we play EDM, and we play everything that's out there, Europop, and all kind of random things.
But it's also, it's interesting the fact that in Trinidad and Tobago, yes, we have the whole diaspora is able to tune in on this. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we have it's so multicultural. You know, we are so influenced by the different cultures. You have African, Indian, Chinese, you know, Asian. There's so many different cultures here that we get that exposure. We always kind of no, we get that exposure from there. And then even when we travel abroad, we were in the UK for some time. And when we were there, you know, you get a lot more exposure to Middle Eastern music and, you know, Sri Lanka and India, so many different countries. Africa, we got some serious African influences out there. But because of that whole microcosm of cultures, we've been able to kind of always want to incorporate those different genres into what we do.
Okay, use a scientific word there, microcosm.
You're like, was that even the right word though?
I know it wasn't. I feel like
it's the right term. I guess you can use it.
We're working with it. Everybody was feeling it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good.
I like that. Do you have a favorite genre of music that you like to play? We love to ask artists this question.
This thing about having
we get the same reaction all the time.
You know, what's really interesting is that what I think when you love music, you take from each thing what it brings. There's a lot of lyricism in Indian classical and pop music, right? There's a line and a melody, right? In Caribbean and Latin and African musics, you get a lot of the rhythm and the layers, the stacking of those intricate composite rhythms just coming together. All of those things are just so interesting. You know, the harmonies and stuff in even Western classical, Indian classical, Afrobeat and stuff music. The way that each different grouping of cultures put their music together, it's just so utterly interesting. Jazz, oh my goodness, how the music is stacked, how the harmonies are placed and layered, and the juxtapositions are just so interesting. So a type of music, maybe not. Yeah.
rap soul.
Exactly. Even the chant, the way that they could take a lead and create a rhythmic bass within a lead line. Yeah. You know, that interacts very drastically with all the other instruments. Oh my goodness, it's just like cool. One thing though, we find though that like Caribbean music, like calypso, soca, they've been over the years, people like Kitchener loved his jazz. He was an amazing bass player. And the jazz is in there with the rhythms, right? So you hear it and you hear it within the structure of things, right? When you listen to Sparrow, you get that ballad, those long lines, those beautiful melodies that just flow and fill you, and things that sound really pretty on the violin as well. Long lines, right? But is that Caribbean music, calypso, soca, what we've been doing, the way we've been bringing the music in from outside? I think I was listening to Come Home the other day, and that's straight EDM. You know what I mean? From Nyla and them. Soca was EDM again, essentially. Rays was EDM. You know what I mean? So a lot of anything that's interesting to us from the world is coming into our music, and we love how we do that, how we play with that, and that allows us to play with everybody else's music within our own. You know.
And I think people are sometimes surprised. You think, well, the violins, they play classically, they should just play melodic lines kind of thing. But sometimes we like to rock out. Huh? Like if you come to a live performance with us, we like to rock out. You know, and we love these moments where the violin can even have a very percussive kind of sound sometimes. And you're like, what? Cool. You know? So I think it's interesting when we surprise people with what you can do with the instrument, to interpret all these different styles, and bring the Caribbean energy and the Caribbean vibrancy to it.
Because it's just about playing with the voice of whatever you enjoy playing, you know, and taking it and trying to sound like a voice, trying to sound like a saxophone, trying to sound like a drum, trying to sound like a trying to pull the chords together, trying to.
Yes. I'm
Exactly.
feeling it. I'm feeling it right now.
She's just
I
loving
can
it. And
literally hear it in my
I
head.
can actually feel everything you're saying because
Yeah.
you're actually feeling what you're saying.
We love it. We love it. We enjoy, utterly enjoy
You can
music.
definitely see that.
And this
Yeah.
is why
You
violinists
can't
they
hide that.
move.
That's one
Like,
thing you cannot hide.
wow. Question for you. So this question came in from the back, from our team. And they want to know, is there anything that you disagree on? So things that you don't agree on where it comes to
Everything.
Except music? Everything except music?
We are polar opposites. Polar opposites.
Completely. Like, no questions asked.
We cannot live in the same house, let's just say. However, when it comes to music, that's one place where the sync is there. That's the one place. We enjoy each other. We actually have our sisterhood mostly sometimes through the music, right? Yeah, we are sisters. We do our thing, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you have your moments of thing. Sometimes you have your rivalry, whatever. But it's the music. When the music is there, we can bring ideas to each other, and we can support one another, and we can bring, you do something that that was nice, try I'm gonna put that on top of that, let's work. Music is what brings people together.
Yeah.
And they said that's what music is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Essentially bring people together, right? So wow, okay, well,
And portray from the stage. Portray from the stage.
okay.
So I want to ask the question because you're the writer in the group, and when producing, like you guys are working on your new stuff. When producing your new stuff or putting music together, what comes first for you? Is it the lyrics, or do you guys work on your music first and then you get the writing?
No, you see, now as instrumentalists, we see things in different ways. So me personally, I love layers.
Right.
I love different elements. So sometimes I will hear a harmony first, right? Janine is more melody and improv, right? I hear a lot of other things to go with it, kind of. But we both bring different things. So sometimes you hear melody more.
It's a mix, and then it's not Janelle. We both write, we both compose, and we both arrange. It's not individually done. So every piece of music that we do is a joint collaborative approach to it. One of the things we do need to do more of is actually putting that down and scoring out what we do, because trying to replicate what we do, people often say, "Oh my God, do you have a score somewhere?" And I was like, no, but that's a good idea. We can do that. A lot of what comes out of us is when the energy that comes, the ideas come from what each other plays.
Right.
And we go in different directions according to where the energy is going.
So it can come from the melody. It can come from a small theme, a small motif that builds out. It can come from when the keyboard is playing and we go, and from that you hear something, and so a range of different things.
Novelist is nodding his head over there. He's an artist himself, so he's pretty sure agreeing with you.
Yeah, he's a lyricist.
What do you hear first?
For me, lyrics. I study lyrics a lot, and I produce too. So when you're talking about the layers, while you were talking, I'm literally seeing colors, because that's what I see. I just see colors, right? But for me, listening to somebody else, I always go for lyrics first. Like you have, like your first sentence or first bar should catch me. Like, okay, I want to hear this.
I understand where you're coming from. I'm honest. I do also. There was a time when I wrote a little bit of poetry and stuff, and so that came first, and then the music came into it. So same kind of thing. Same.
It varies. Yeah.
It really does. It feels the different song, the different vibe, different way you're feeling at the time.
Yeah.
What catches you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You're with me.
Oh, I got you.
What keeps you going? What keeps you inspired, the ladies? Like, what inspires you to continue doing what you do?
What inspires
Mom?
you?
Mommy in. I think we just love the music. I mean, like you literally. I mean, for example, look during COVID. COVID was a time when you wouldn't have any opportunity to perform on stages anymore. And but you still wanted to do something. You still felt the music bubbling inside of you. You still wanted to play, create, put out something, or put some ideas down. So the music is just always stirring in you. You know, there's live. I mean, some musicians are live performance only. Some are studio only. Some are different types of experiences. But for us, like we thrive on wanting to do all elements of it. Be on stage, put out music, give something new, give something edgy, and sit down and sometimes just kind of like put those ideas that may just be kind of going crazy in your head, put it out, just stick it on the violin and let it sing out,
Nice. I almost forgot about COVID. That was a regular question we were asking. So how was COVID for you as an artist?
It's done. Yes.
Yeah. Moving over it.
Yeah. Next.
Over it.
Get it done, right?
I mean, that's it. I mean, during COVID, for example, we decided to put out 2 productions during that time. We did a Christmas production. Yeah, we did a Christmas production where we went to like one of the bigger malls in Trinidad and Tobago, West Mall. We had the mall to ourselves, so we had lights and everything. We love to dress. We love to dress, especially in local designers' clothing. So we love to represent culture as much as we could. It's expensive, but it's nice to be able to kind of, all of that kind of brings a different energy to what you do, right?
Right.
So we had a local designer. We had the outfits. We had the full band, and we took over the mall. We even included a storyteller, actually, as part of one of our great storytellers.
Douglas, yes.
Oh, you got him.
Yeah.
So you have a connection. We will talk about this.
That was Mom, actually.
Again,
That
right?
was Mom.
Okay.
Production.
All right.
And the Christmas production, and then that clip that you saw there as well was a second one that we did called Trinidad Blooms. And that was around the kind of independence time. We felt we needed to put out for the country, especially something to lift the spirits. And we concentrated on putting music that represented our republic, our independence, portrait of Trinidad,
Jahaji
a series of songs that would lift the spirits. It was nation building and then ending soca. So, and even the choice and the decision of what we call that show, it was called Trinidad Blooms. Coming out of that kind of dodgy period, that energy that, listen, we are vibrant people. We blooming again. We will bloom again. We had on the flowers, all of that. The costuming was, come people, bring your spirits back up.
Yes.
Yes, COVID, but it made us do some production, which was nice.
That's good.
Nice.
So on that note, let's get to the other video you guys have, because I actually enjoy watching you guys perform. So I want to say,
So the next video that we have is you performing at Dominica Jazz and Creole Festival. So,
oh wow! Yeah, we enjoyed that.
let's have a look.
You're for you. All right,
Yeah.
go through.
It's good.
Mom was just reminding us that that performance happened not too long after the hurricane.
Yeah.
That,
Maria.
yeah.
Right.
The first Creole Fest after it, and it was that kind of thing where we went, even when we looked at the country, we got a chance to drive around, and there was so much devastation still, and they were able to host this event where the people were able to come out and just say, listen, whatever going on, whatever's happening, we here together, and we're gonna really we could build together. We could
Annie by your love.
And that song, what we love to do when we travel, we always try to make sure and do one of the pieces from the country. And that we fell in love.
That song was
that song. It's Annie by your love.
Yeah. I think they know that.
But
don't. I'm not Dominican, remember? So
right. Okay.
But before we go on, I do want to give credit to the people who produced the video that we just watched. It's brbttv.net, and they were able to pan to the audience and show us how they were vibing and how you were vibing. So thank you to them. I don't know the song.
It's a signal song, signal band.
Anybody love? Yeah.
That's actually a beautiful song.
Yeah.
So
yes, utterly inspirational.
Yes. Game time.
Well, we did ask earlier, and we will see if the ladies are inclined to answer some of our questions.
Talk through so that it wouldn't happen, but they're not.
Go on. Let's see. Thumbs up. All in favor for.
All right.
Quick hitters.
You guys are gonna have more fun than us, okay? I promise. Joe, you wanna go ahead?
Well, you know what? One question just came up on the stage. I mean, it's not a quick hitter. Well, maybe it could be. Any spouses, any children involved? That was a question. That was a.
I'm married. Hence the name Janine Xavier Cross. Kept the Xavier, but added on the cross. As yet, but yeah.
All right.
So there you go, buddy.
Yeah. So that answers that question. Get that out of the way. Icebreaker question. All right. So, what is your very favorite place to perform? Country. Have you performed in other countries? What's your favorite place?
Obviously.
Multiple.
Yeah, obviously.
Again, we're not good with these kinds of things because honestly, we've performed in so many places. Everybody has a completely different thing. Hospitality, Caribbean, right?
You see, you're thinking too much into it. The first thing coming in the head is say it.
They have more than one favorite.
Hospitality, Caribbean is just it. You friends, people just come out and
yeah.
Overseas, the opportunities you get to play with some interesting musicians and stuff with, like in the UK and some parts of America as well. Those kind of things.
Beckway was nice.
Beckway was
Dominica was great. Grenada was fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's too.
Barbados was excellent. I'm sorry, not to fire.
Tobago was also.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Everywhere.
We just enjoy performing, and everybody has. We cool, whatever.
These ladies want to be invited back to these places. So.
Okay.
They were all
excellent.
Excellent people.
All right.
Okay,
do you have one? I have another one.
I have one. One of you guys could answer this. Since you guys play all these instruments, favorite instrument?
Mine is viola, actually.
Okay.
And mine is still violin. I'm sorry.
We disagree on something.
Very biased.
If you had the opportunity to collaborate with a music artist, a singer, and do a medley with them, who would that be?
In the region, outside the region?
Out anywhere.
Gosh, there's so many people.
She's one.
I mean,
all right, let's give you a genre of music then. Let's say reggae. dance hall, right? Maybe dance hall. We do dance hall.
Oh, toast.
Huh?
Coffee.
Coffee.
I
Okay.
she's just
I can see that. I can hear that. I should say.
yeah. She's pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
Um, Soca.
Nyla voice.
Yeah.
There's some really beautiful voices out there right now. Some voices that have interesting timbre that give you violin feel.
Right.
You know, I think Nyla and probably voice right now. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. Last one for me. Both of you. Any one of you guys. Favorite meal?
Favorite meal?
Yes.
Food.
Yeah, favorite food.
Yes.
Just food.
One.
Anything. Once it's on your plate, you're good.
No, I don't know. Right now, I have something going on for seafood boil. I don't know why. It's some kind of next level.
Yeah, she goes through periods.
I think through.
Yeah.
I go through different phases.
Yeah, she's in a boil period right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like my roti. I like my pilau.
And
Yeah.
corn soup.
Wait.
You
Bust
are
up shot or dal pari?
What's up?
What's up, shut?
What's up?
What's happening?
All the way.
How is that ever a question? I don't understand.
Oh wow, that's our questions, ladies.
Hey!
You survived. Wasn't that bad?
It wasn't that bad. And you guys have more fun than us. Yeah, you guys did good. Now, maybe, we could see mom before we leave.
Yes, we want mom to come. Up.
You didn't take them seriously. That's what happened to you.
Hey,
We have to sit the genius behind the music.
Come over.
Where is Mama Xavier?
Where's Mama Xavier? Hi.
Hello, Mama Xavier.
So this is the genius behind you guys all.
No. Definitely give the credit to the Lord God Almighty. Please.
Of course.
The thing is, what happened with me, I studied music in England. And what was the interesting thing? I came from the colonial period. So I knew my Bach and my Beethoven and my Brahms. And went to classes, and the first thing they said to me, could you play a calypso? And I'm like, oh, we don't play calypso on the piano. And in other words, that's what they wanted. They wanted to hear what we created.
Right.
And so for me, that was a very important situation that took place, because it meant for the girls, they had to be able to play any type of local music that existed. So when they were young, mommy, we will dress, we'll take you up to Paramin, and we'll go and learn how to play the violin with the paranderos up there. You'll go to Tobago, you'll learn to do the violin
fiddle,
drag your bow,
Drag your bow.
Mr. Fiddler, things like that. So you went and you participated, you learned your culture, you learned your music, you learned who you were. Which is what we didn't do. In the colonial days, you learned what Britain taught you. During this period, it was all about what we have created. I was also involved in the creation of the CXE music exam, and infused in that was creation of music of the Caribbean. What has the musicians of this Caribbean produced? Let us start scoring it. Let us start recording it. Let's start reading it. Let's make it available so that our children can be taught, can understand, can learn from our great masters. And this year, in particular, last year, we had in Trinidad quite a lot of our masters coming, passing away. And their music, thank God, is recorded in some form or format. And we are now able to look at their music, try to understand the syncopation, the rhythms, where it came from, and understand who we are. I think that is very, very, very critical. So in terms of their upbringing, yes, you were taught in classical style. That's to be able to read and write music.
Right.
But you will go down to the panyard, and you will go down to the yard and listen to the drummer drum, and you're listening to the fiddle man, but mommy is holding the fiddle wrong. And he's calling it a fiddle, it's a violin. Mommy. Yes, okay.
Yes.
So I think that was what it was all about,
Right.
making sure that they didn't experience what I experienced. They know their country, they know the music of the Caribbean, and hence the reason why their ability to pick up anything, because mommy would be like, and can you play it?
Hmm.
Oh, mommy, but learn it.
Yes.
So that's the approach. So hence the reason why they have both, they can read, they can write, they can play, they have strong oral ears. And also with my music, my students at school, they also were like that as well. You must be able to learn to read, write, and play. But the time you see the music falling from the stand, they've learned it. Then we start saying, okay, you have to learn to improvise on that, expand that music,
Yes.
create a larger piece of music. How do you do that? Let's go into structure. How can you do it through improvisation? How can you do it through structured approaches to music, forms, and things like that? So they had to learn that. And I am happy that our CXE exam works and deals with the music of the Caribbean and not everybody else's music, So that's it. That's where I come from.
That's where we come from.
So
Thank
much
you.
for that. That is amazing. Yes. We need more of that. We need more of the generational sharing of the gifts that we have, and we don't have enough of it. And our cultures around the Caribbean are dying because of that, and we're influenced by the more northern countries like North America.
Yeah.
We're influenced by that, and they're starting to take over, and that's not where we want to land, right?
Yes, exactly.
They take it from us, we're taking from them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as we we're saying, when I was talking about EDM and stuff, the number of times I've listened to some of those pieces, not soca, but EDM or certain types of foreign music, and I've heard
From Caribbean.
and calypso and reggae rhythms, and I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, they're taking from us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
It
we
is
need
what
to
it is.
appreciate what we have.
We should.
Share it.
Right.
With
This
everyone.
was so much fun. This is like, I really wish I could get to sit down with you guys again. This is so fun. Like you guys, your energy, I could feel it. Like literally just feel you guys' energy. The aura is amazing.
Yes.
yeah.
I don't know how you guys don't get along, but hey, you fool me, all right?
They're siblings. They're supposed to have sibling rivalry.
That's true. That's true.
When it matters,
Right.
Right.
Right. So
Yes.
thank you guys for joining us. This is fun. This is such a pleasure.
Yes.
I hope you guys had fun with us too.
We did.
We did.
We had
Awesome.
we did.
Mom did too in the background. She was participating in the background.
Hey. So this is the part of the show you want to give your shout outs or put out your social media things out there. Yeah.
Yes.
Check us out everywhere. That's all thing.
Everywhere.
Just like look for Xavier Strings, very straightforward. Xavier Strings on Facebook. We are on Xavier Strings on Instagram. We recently started the TikTok vibe and on YouTube as well.
been handed a
Xavier
card.
Strings, easy to find. There's a card. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can contact us as well on email via xavierstring@live.com or contact our mother. And WhatsApp is a thing now. WhatsApp is real. 1-868-689-1031.
Nice.
So email us, message us, just reach us any way you can.
Hi, Auntie.
And follow us, of course, on our social media.
Auntie Xavier is tuning in as well. Wow, ladies, thank you so much for your time. We had a great time with you.
Indeed.
Wow. We definitely, right? Yes, you had fun. Okay. Well, we're coming out. The other thing I was to say is that as we talk about the come home from Nyla and
skinny
Yeah.
fabric. We have we're going to be coming out with a version of that pretty soon. You know, so check it out.
Any date and time in there, or just in the making stuff?
It's basically pretty sorted. It's just to do the final edits on the video and stuff.
Check the page every single
Yeah.
That's a good way to stay
Follow
connected.
Xavier
Check it
Strings
every day.
everywhere until you see the video.
Every
YouTube,
day until
TikTok, IG.
check every day.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
Have a great evening.
All right, bye.
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 Yeah.
Oh man, and that's another episode of Dissect. This episode was definitely fun. Definitely fun. I like it. I like the fact that how their mom, you know, she has the education, she put them through it, and she's managing them through it. Like, to have a manager like that has the background education on
Right.
everything musically.
Mm-hmm. They're set.
This was Dissect, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you guys next week Saturday. I had fun. I go by the name of Novelist, and she goes by the name of.
Thank you so much.
You guys have a blessed week and a blessed weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Speed.
Peace.